Hello and welcome back to the show. I'm joined, let me bring her up on my screen so you can all see. I'm joined by RedDead Panda again. Hello Panda, are you there?
I am here. How are you, Elite?
Good, yeah, it's like, um, so, yeah, because I work nights, so I'm sort of tired because it's early for me and it's late for you because you've been at work as well, so you're tired, so we're both very tired, so we might both be yawning a lot while doing this. It's got nothing to do with the topic we'll talk about whatsoever. We'll just be
Yeah,
yawning because we're both tired. yeah, yeah,
I'll try not to yawn and trigger you. It's just a
yeah.
habit.
Um, so we know where you are on YouTube. Do you want to give it away again?
All right, so I am. You can find me on RedDead Panda Gaming. I am due to put a video up this coming week, but I've been really slack the last few weeks, and it was my
Yeah.
birthday, so I've kind of just had that as my excuse. And then I sprained my wrist playing laser tag, so that was fun. But yeah, follow me on RedDead Panda Gaming. I'm gonna try and hold myself to a regular schedule of at least one video per week. And you can also find me on Twitter at RedDeadPanda as well. Hit me up in the comments on any of my tweets or DM me. I'm happy to engage with you guys. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. Right, so I might try to put a link if I can to one of your videos at the end of this video, so people can
It's a
just click
KFC
straight onto it.
chicken video. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're
Everyone
hungry,
stuff about the
watch
KFC
that
console.
video. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Right. So it looks but the idea it looks better than the PS5 console.
Well, the PS5 doesn't
it's
fry you chicken, so
you know
it's harder
probably your circuits. That's what about it.
fry your circuits.
Because it's so powerful. Right. So
Exactly.
the Xbox. Right. So we're going to talk about the Xbox. As I've got on my screen here, as you can all see, Xbox Games Showcase, July 23rd, 9 a.m. PT. So yeah. So Xbox basically going to showcase their first party games and tomorrow. It's Wednesday, isn't it? Tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow. Um, so we're going to talk about that. First, I'd just like to say the show starts at what did I just say? Did I just give it time?
9 a.m.
Oh, 9 a.m. Yeah, the
Pacific
show starts at
time.
9 a.m. Yeah. Um, so it's 5 p.m. for us in the UK. I don't know what time that
Lucky
is
for
for you
some,
in New Zealand.
it, it's it's Friday morning for me in New Zealand at
Yeah,
4 a.m. So I'm gonna
4
be
a.m.
up at 4 a.m. watching this live like an idiot. No, not like an idiot. I will always watch Xbox events live. I love to. I watched Sony events live because I dedicated to my passion of
Yeah,
gaming.
and we're
Dedicated.
gonna
My
we're gonna
sister's like,
try to
I'm
do a
not getting
live
up.
stream. Yeah, exactly.
She's like, you can watch that by
Which,
yourself and tell me the highlights later.
yeah, we're gonna try to do a live stream anyway, aren't we?
Yes, we're going to
So,
try and do a live stream, see how that goes. If not, it'll just be put up later. Yeah, but it'll be you and I.
however, there is an earlier show. So the main show starts at 9, but there is an 8 o'clock show. It starts actually at 8 o'clock, where apparently they're going to show some premieres there as well, which we're predicting they're probably third party, aren't they? I can't imagine why else it'd start
Or
earlier.
some smaller games. So maybe highlighting things that are coming from first party studios that aren't the big AAA bangers that everyone
Oh yeah,
wants to
I've
buy.
just Yeah, I was just gonna say, I've just found it here actually. What's more, a celebration of all things Xbox games will start with a Summer Game Fest pre-show beginning at 8 a.m. So this is what they're going to show at 8 a.m. Tune in for reveals, predictions, insights from YouTube creators, which should be interesting. They've not asked me to say anything, and more on some already announced titles coming to Xbox. So they're going to go over some games that already have been announced for Xbox. So they're
First,
possibly third party there.
yeah, first prediction, guys. I think there might be a few people who weren't planning on getting a Series X that will probably Series X after the show.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you
give them
do
up.
you agree with that?
Yeah, possibly. They've done it before, haven't they? Just handing them out. And they usually hand them out to people that anti Xbox, don't they? So,
I'm already like down on the list for pre-order. Like the moment pre-orders go live on this console,
Yeah,
I'm getting notified.
I'm getting 2.
Getting down on that list.
Yeah.
Well, are you getting 2, or are
I'll get
Xbox
that too.
doing it 1 per customer?
Are they?
Well, PlayStation's looking at 1 per household, so maybe Xbox might do
I
1
don't
per
think Xbox is
customer.
that. I don't think Xbox is that stupid.
Well,
um,
they don't have 110 million consumers or consoles that they have to replace, so
no.
they could be a bit more liberal with the amount of people allowed to get their console.
They're only offering out 10 million, which means 100 million PS4 owners will be bored until for at least a year, because only doing 10 million the first year, so at least a year they're going to have 100 million PS4 owners with nothing to do.
Wait, I'm
What will they
confused.
do?
Are there going to be no PS4 games
No,
after
there's going to
the
be no
launch
new.
of the PS5? Are devs
Well,
going to stop making games for the PS4?
there'll be multiplats, but I don't imagine there'll be exclusives to PS4 after the
So
launch of PS5.
are those games that are going to release on the PS4 going to be held back? Like, are they going
Um,
to hold back the PS5? Is that what you're saying?
yes,
Because
yes,
I've heard that story somewhere else.
yeah, possibly,
Apparently,
because
that's what's happening with the Xbox.
if your game's not
Yeah,
on, if the game's just going to PS5, then they've announced no games for PS4 whatsoever exclusive. So yeah, basically,
just gonna have nothing. They'll have to get Xboxes while they wait to be
they have
able
to
to
get
get.
Lockhart's. That's probably why
Yeah,
Phil made
exactly
the
what it is. Yeah,
Lockhart. Yeah,
yeah.
for 100 million poor PS4 owners that will have nothing to do. So he said, here's a Lockhart.
Here's a lockout. Yep.
Yeah, there we go. 100 million all move over to
See how
Xbox.
that's how ridiculous those arguments are about
Yeah,
the console being held back. I'm like,
yeah. There's no
see,
logic to it whatsoever.
no
You've seen on
logic.
one of my channels the PC guy that thinks it'd be held back, and I said, "Is the PC held back?" And he said, "No." And I'm like, "Well, then why would you possibly claim the Xbox is going to be held back when they've clearly said?" And in my video, I showed Phil saying that it won't be held back. It's
It's
basically the
held
same as a
back.
PC. Yeah, but
It's
he's
held
still
back
like,
because it's an Xbox.
yeah,
That is the
exactly.
only reason. There's
Yeah,
the only conclusion I've come to is because it's Xbox, it's automatically held back.
there's
But
no logic
any
behind it
other
or
any other
truth.
system, yeah,
Yeah.
not held back. Um, so that'll
Oh,
happen.
so
Anyway,
the
back to
earliest
the elections,
shows,
guys.
yeah, the earliest shows, yeah, the earliest shows. Unfortunately, not a fan of mine whatsoever. It's hosted by Jeff Sony Keighley. Yeah,
I don't have
that's a
much to
shame.
comment on that man.
Nor do I. He's massively fascinated with Sony and Kojima. Weirdly fascinated. Yeah, I've got nothing good to say, man.
Like, probably
He's
has
all
made a
show is
calendar for them
nonsense.
for each month of the year,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
possibly.
with a picture of Kojima sort of inching poses for each month of the year.
Yeah. Or a list of all the
Kojima.
games that Kojima wants to have him in the next
Yeah,
10,000
yeah,
years that
yeah.
Kojima's going to be around for.
In return for getting a nomination at the Game Awards, even though your game stank badly, and you called all American idiots, you still give him a
Yeah,
nomination. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. So he's hosting, is it the pre-event?
Thankfully not the Xbox show, so they can sort of Jeffrey. Here's some just minor titles for you to host on. We're gonna do the main show without you because you suck, basically. I think is the argument. We're at their point. I'm fine with that as well.
What
I
are
hope
your
they sort
thoughts
of.
on the pre-show?
I,
I mean,
I hope they
you
sort
shouldn't
of
go
cut him off
in.
midstream. They're sort of sorry, Jeff. We've got to move over to the Xbox show. Bye. Just cut him off. That'd be brilliant.
They'll never do that. Let's be
No.
honest. It is going to be a very, very good, clean show and respectful. And I'm being overly sarcastic and being cheeky
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now,
yeah.
because
He's
at the
going to
end of the
show
day,
these. Yeah.
I'm
He's going to
gonna
show
be
the same
honest.
enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try again. I'm still planning to get PS5, but there is no games whatsoever that I'm excited to get in on there. I've talked about the VR, possibly getting the VR Star Wars game, but then I might as well buy a PS4, as it'd be around for another year,
What do
2
you mean
years.
you're not getting a PS5 and there's no games
I
to play on
just
it?
because I don't want to
But
play
they've got all
7 hour
the
Spider-Man.
exclusives.
I don't want to play Bug Snacks. The exclusives they're all hyping up and not even out for another 2 or 3 years. It's just nothing at launch that's
No.
decent. I don't want to
I
spend money
think
at launch.
I
I
think
think I'm gonna.
delivered.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
I think with the rumored August event, that's when you're gonna have an idea of what games you could possibly play on the PS5. So it's
Yeah.
wait till August, right? Like Xbox
Yeah.
used to always wait till E3.
Well, well,
Um,
let's well, let's look at the truth of that. First, we had wait till March, and they done a PS5 logo reveal. Then it was wait till May, and then
GDC.
Cerny done his weird PowerPoint presentation of SSD, and didn't really cover anything
ASMR.
else really. Yeah. Um, then it was wait till July, and they showed Bugsnax. And now it's wait till August. We've had 4 waits from the Sony fanboys in 1 year. Wait for this, wait for this, wait for this, wait for this. So,
Hey,
I don't,
August
they've not
might
got,
be, we are going to tell you the cooling system.
yeah, yeah.
And we
Or,
may be
but,
going to announce more features because I'm waiting to do a PlayStation video about the features for their PS5. And I can't do it because they haven't announced enough.
that's why I've gone ahead and made my PlayStation 5 video. I finished it last night, which I'm going to launch after I've made the Xbox video. But I've just gone ahead and made it. If basically how I see it is if they've not shown enough features or enough games, that's their problem. I'm going to release both
Did
videos at
you
the same time.
hear that their PS5 launch title is Bugsnax and it's going to be Bugsnax VR? It's going to be
Oh wow!
yeah,
I
that's what
so want to spend £500 plus £300, £400 in VR to play Bugsnax VR, so I can walk around that world and just eat bugs and then turn my body into fruit. I can't think
I
of
look
anything
down
better.
at your strawberry foot.
Yeah,
Like,
look at
oh
that, your
my god,
wiener. Look at your
actually,
wiener hands.
yeah,
And get a
wiener
box of
hands.
tissues.
Actually, that sounds like a better game than what they showed for Bugsnax. Bugsnax VR. We've
Yeah,
come up with a better game.
yeah. You can
Um,
see now why Phil shook his head at it and said we're not doing VR. You can see why, can't you? Yeah, we're not doing VR. It's just naff.
I don't like VR. I would play some VR games if it's like VR Pokemon, yes,
Yeah.
because Pokemon.
Yeah,
But
I think
with
PR
30
Pokemon,
people,
Pokemon would work. Would work. Walk around that world and find them on the floor and picking up and throwing them, and that would work.
yeah,
But
that could
Bugsnax,
work.
come on, man. Why not even bother? Why did not even go and make VR Spider-Man? Can you imagine VR Spider-Man? That'd be incredible.
There's
You
VR
actually are
Iron Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah, which well,
That
was
game
rated
was
about
yeah.
70%, wasn't it? 60%,
But
which by
if
their
they
standards is trash. But
if
but
they
everyone
work
was
on
saying it looked bad. Everyone said it looked like a PS3 game. It looked bad.
well, VR hasn't quite caught up to where it should
It's
be.
not.
But
This is why
I think
Phil's not doing it.
I think PS5 is going to be a lot more powerful, and whatever they do as the new equivalent of their VR system for next gen is probably going to improve it. Big time. But we are here to talk about the Xbox event, and
Yeah.
I am just going off on a tangent and bringing you with me, and I apologise.
Yeah, damn you! No, I was going to say actually another highlight here is the YouTube show will be run at 1080p 60 FPS. Sony show
Hallelujah.
going back. The Sony show is shown at 1080p because a lot of TV sets are still 1080p, but 30 FPS for some reason. Even though a lot of TV sets do run at 60 FPS, despite a lot of people believing TVs still run at 30 FPS. No, a lot of TVs have moved forward. I read it about in 2016 to 60 FPS, and then even more in 2018. A lot of your TVs now can run comfortably at 60 FPS, despite popular myths. um,
And if it's only running at 1080p, if you've got a
yeah,
phone, watch it on your phone.
yeah,
Phones can do
exactly.
60 FPS. Perfectly
Yeah,
fine to do that.
yeah,
I
at
mean,
1080p.
initially, and then what? They're going to be releasing a 4K
Yep,
60
4K
version of
60
the
VOD
stream after.
immediately after. So at 4 o'clock we're going to have the pre-show, which is going to show some premieres and other bits with old Jeffy. Then it's going to be the Xbox show. I'm not sure how long the Xbox show is on for. An hour and a half, I'd imagine.
I think Aaron Greenberg he kind of indicated it was about an hour,
Oh, right, okay.
which is why I think they're doing a pre-show.
Yeah, yeah, to get rid of the crap out of the way. To get Jeff out of the
Yeah,
way. So they can just
basically.
focus on first party. Everyone, they're going to focus on first party. Something that also
And give
lacked
us
from
Fable.
PS5.
Fable.
Um,
That's all I care about.
and then, so I guess at 6 o'clock, then they're going to do a 4K 60 show. I mean, a 4K 60 version of the same show, I guess, immediately after for everyone to see.
What? I think the 60 frames is perfect because Phil has been talking about
Yes.
the fact that this coming generation, it's not going to be about the resolution. You're not going to notice about with the resolution because it's no longer about resolution. These consoles have got to a point where we know that they can do 4K. So they can do 4K. It's going to be about graphical features on top of that, like ray tracing and all of those details. But it's also saying it's about the experience itself.
Yeah.
So the smoothness, you're going to notice that your game runs really well because it runs at 60 in comparison to being held back at 30 frames per second. I think that's going to be the key difference. And to show that you'll notice this, the stream had to be at 60. I mean, I put a video
Yeah.
out about the PlayStation event last
Yeah.
month. Was it
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
month? Oh my god,
Yeah.
that was so long ago. Feels like forever ago. And I complained about the fact it was at 30 frames per second. I
Yeah.
think I would have enjoyed it more at 60 if it was 60. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a decent show, no doubt about that. But what was a drawback for me was the fact that it was at 30. And I said if Xbox did it at 30, I would complain big time because they shouldn't be doing that. And I think that's something Phil made sure it was going to be at 60 because he wanted to set that expectation like, we're doing the stream at 60, we want all of our games to essentially run at 60 frames per second because this console was designed to run your games with a decent frame rate.
Yeah, 60 FPS next generation, people. You're paying for next generation. You're on 60 FPS. I mean, we had 60 FPS in games this generation. So not to demand 60 FPS next generation is ridiculous. And for those people, those bloody divs that are demanding 30 FPS because they want to see more movie games, QTE cutscene fest games, so they don't care about FPS, they want to see 30 FPS, are absolutely kidding themselves and foolish to just support that.
What are you
You need to
talking
just.
about? Like, Insomniac announced a performance mode for Spider-Man, so clearly it doesn't need to run at 30, it actually looks better running at 60.
Yeah, which let's remind people because a lot of people getting confused by this. There's two modes. There's a 4K 30 and a 1080p 60 mode. The game is not running at 4K 60, so let's get
It
that
could
out of
be
the way.
1440p 60,
Oh, it
they
could
haven't
be, yeah,
officially
possibly.
announced
No,
the
if not
resolution for
officially,
the
that's it.
mode. But
Yeah,
there's going to be a 60 frames per second mode.
yeah, but not at
And
4K.
for that type of game, it should be running like that.
Oh, it
I
should
mean,
be, yeah.
people remember that PlayStation 5 leak of the of Spider-Man, of him swinging through the city, and they showed that the PS4 couldn't keep up, but the new PS5 system was so fast.
Yeah,
People thought that was amazing.
yeah.
Why
What's
would you want to
interesting?
slow it down and run
Yeah,
at 30 when you can make it look
yeah.
smooth and run at 60 so he can move faster and you can see it and there's no artifacting, you don't have any ghosting in the frames. Yeah.
If your console's got the power, that's the kind of game it should show. Speed, because it's all about speed and agility and stuff. The game. What's interesting is that not
Mm.
until the PS5 come out is that they massively rated Spider-Man, saying it's incredible, it's faultless, blah blah blah. But then when the PS5 version comes out, they say, look, it's 30 FPS. It wasn't very good. It looks amazing in 60 FPS. That's all interesting. They're saying now it's
Yeah.
sort of there's delays and lags in it. You never mentioned them before though when you were reviewing the game, the delays and lags in the web screen. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I think a lot of people accepted the fact that they were going to get 30 and are quite happy and surprised that Insomniac has come out and confirmed they're going to do a 60 frames per second mode as a
yeah,
performance mode. And I think we're going to we're going to
but
see
anyway,
that a lot more
let's
moving
get
forward. Yes. Off we
let's
go.
get off that. Yeah, 60 everyone. Demand 60. Demand better. The minimum should be 60 next generation.
Yep.
People are going to go,
Demand
Valhalla
better.
runs 30 FPS on Xbox Series X. Valhalla's running, it says, at a minimum of 30. It's not even. That was about 6 months ago. 6 months ago and all, wasn't it? It's probably going to be upscale. But and also, this a third party game, not a first party game. In addition, that game's made on this gen hardware, not next gen hardware, because the game's been in production for quite a few years now. So
And the engine
yeah,
was
the engine's old.
optimized to run on this hardware, not next gen hardware. They still have
Yeah,
to optimize to make the games
yeah,
perform better and be optimized for next gen systems.
yeah.
Yeah. So there's going
But
to be caveats there. We're not going to see a lot of
right,
staggering improvements until we move further into the generation, and then
for
it'll
third
just
party
probably blow
especially,
our
yeah, just
minds.
yeah.
Yeah, for third
Um,
party especially.
especially the third party is always behind. So let's move on to our predictions then. So we got 8 o'clock show. Do you want to do predictions for 8 o'clock show?
I I don't. My
Was
idea is
8 o'clock for
it's
me? Sorry. Yeah.
yeah, 3 a.m. for me. Fun time, guys. Fun
Oh no,
time.
it's
Um,
8 o'clock for America. 4 a.m. 4 p.m. for me. 4 p.m. for me. So do you want to do predictions on that?
I don't really know what I would predict with that, other than I think if they are going to show anything, it's going to be games that aren't that AAA. The bangers that you would normally see. I think it's going to be maybe some smaller games with some little bit of gameplay because they really heard the feedback about what Xbox people consider gameplay, what Sony people consider gameplay, what gamers consider gameplay. So I
Yeah.
think we're going to definitely see that. Um, I think they may put some little tidbits in there to kind of keep people entertained in that first hour, um, and to give Jeff Keighley something to do other than chase his tail. Um, and it's hard to say what they're going to put in there. Actually, I
Yeah.
I
It does say it's
the
going to
game
Xbox games. Some already shown Xbox games. So
it
do
could be
they mean
third
just
party.
third party stuff, or do they just mean the smaller titles? Are they just going to show? Or they could
It could
possibly show because they've not yet stuff like Battletoads or more of Grounded and stuff like that.
I
Or
don't think Grounded's gonna happen unless they're gonna make a showcase around what they're doing with the demos. Because what
yeah,
70 plus demos over the next 5 days or next week it is. Um, for Xbox, I think Grounded's probably not gonna happen because Grounded's moving
no,
into proper preview on the 28th of July. Why talk
oh, is it?
about Grounded?
Can't wait for
Um,
that.
it would, I'm looking forward to it too. Why talk
Yeah,
about Grounded when it's so close?
yeah.
I think that's coming. I think we're going to see other things um, in that space, but
So
who
yeah,
knows?
I
Yeah.
wonder what that was. And then it's got, as you said, it's going to have YouTube creators talking about it. So I guess I wonder if they get for that. I wonder if they get anyone big. Um, predictions. So
What
I don't
YouTube
know who.
creators would you like to talk? Would you
Yeah,
like to
wait, and
hear
it's got
from?
predictions, insights. So I wonder if the YouTube creators will be doing the predictions or their insights into it. I
Well,
wonder. I wonder if they've ever
if
gone out and asked YouTubers, big YouTubers. I mean, I'm thinking of big gaming YouTubers off the top of my head. People I can think of are people like Boogie and Angry Joe, but
mm,
they're more pro Sony. I'm not sure
or
what
pro
big
PC.
YouTubers are. Yeah,
Well, if you listen to RDX this week, because they've got two shows this week, they're meant to be having a guest on from Microsoft for about 15-20 minute segment, I think, after the actual big blowout Xbox show.
oh really?
So, yeah, apparently, which is, I'll definitely be watching that. Um, but I think it could be some really pro Xbox YouTubers or ones that have a lot of clout in the community
I wonder.
and
Well, I
are
wonder if it.
far-reaching.
Yeah, I wonder if it could be anyone from RDX. Colt Eastwood's a big fan with them. I know with Microsoft at the moment, and Xbox. I know that. Wonder
Yeah,
if they
he's
got.
got a very good, soothing voice to listen to.
Yeah, yeah. So I just wonder if they got someone like even someone like that.
Yeah, I don't
Otherwise,
have
I
much
don't
to say on the
troll.
pre-show.
Nah. So let's move on to the main show then. Bye, Jeff. So,
Sorry,
so
not sorry.
what do you what yeah yeah hashtag sorry not sorry. What do we think that we're going to see in the main show then?
Well, Jeff, going. Sorry, we're talking about Jeff again, and I'm so sorry, Elite. Jeff did
Yeah,
mention there will be Halo gameplay.
yeah.
So whether that's going to be right at the end, leading into the actual big part of the show, or whether who knows if that's going to fall at the end of the pre-show and lead into the big show, or whether or not it's going to be the start of the big show. Um, there's going to be something Halo related,
Yeah.
whether that
Is
is
it?
giving a proper trailer in relation to the story, because we haven't
Well, it
actually had a
says
story trailer.
no. It says it's going to show first ever look at campaign gameplay from Halo Infinite.
Yeah, because I think they've done a. I think 343 has really taken a holistic approach with the game and gone, what did we
yeah,
do well? What did we do badly? Where do we want this to go? Fit in with the lore, and I think, in my opinion, I think they've really taken this one seriously and gone, we need to make the Halo franchise. We need to live
yeah.
up to the Halo franchise. We need to make a game that's going to take the fan base by surprise. So I think there are
Yeah.
going to be some. There's going to be definitely. This is like
I,
the Halo
I
movie,
think I
but
think it
there's new
might
stuff
even
coming.
kind of be a soft reboot. I think they sort of made the game much bigger, and they're going to bring back old characters and things like that, and just sort of softly reboot it in a way where they're just going to make it how it was originally, but bigger, just more sort of nicer looking and just massive, and bring back all. Like I've got a feeling the what do you call it? Even I couldn't stand them. I thought they're rubbish. What's the zombie thing creatures? I can't really call that.
Which ones? The Flood.
The flood. I reckon they could bring back the flood, for example, and things like that.
Yeah.
And
Well, if
probably,
you played bec- if, with the Halo franchise, if you played Halo 2, um,
yeah,
basically, for the people who didn't play that, I think they're going to try and introduce some of the characters in from that game because
yeah,
there was a teaser with one of the main bad guy in that game. Um, so I think for those who missed that and don't know about the lore or the story that happened there, I think there's going to be something in the show about that. And I think the Halo showing is going to be flexing the muscles of the slip space engine
yeah,
because we saw
exactly.
beautiful cutscenes of it in the previous years at E3,
Yeah,
but I think
brand
it's
new
really
engine.
going
Yeah,
to I think it's really going to show what this engine can do, and I think it's really going to bring Halo into next gen, and people are going to go, "That is a really gorgeous game."
I think we're going to see interplanetary travel as well. I don't think you can be stuck on one planet running around. I reckon
Yeah,
you're going to be traveling.
I think it's going to be a showpiece. I think it's
Yeah,
going to be like, and I think the next thing is going to be these games are running on the Series X.
yeah, and I think the campaign's meant to
Obviously,
be around 30, 40 hours as well. What I've heard.
obviously there are limitations because with what's happened with COVID, it's meant that they've had to obviously it's affected a lot of development. So there may be games that were intended to be showing on the Series X that weren't able to be shown on the Series X, and it's going to be indicative of what this would be the Series X. And I hope they don't do that. I hope it's
Yeah,
like this is all running on the Series X. And I think if they're saying this is all running on the Series X, that's going to change a lot of people's minds because I reckon they're going to go, this game is running this, and this. Hey, the pre-show could be involving showing features about the console. Who knows?
yeah.
But I think
Well,
Halo's
no,
going to be
they,
the
yeah,
opener.
yeah. Well, they have said here. I'm just reading off here. They said, I think I don't know if it doesn't necessarily say the main show, but they are going to feature Xbox Game Studios is pushing the industry forward with a huge variety of games, all of which support services and features that put the player first, including Xbox Game Pass. They'll probably do a feature on that, and smart delivery as well. So they're probably going to show games as they looked on the Xbox, and then how they're going to look on Xbox Series X. I imagine.
Yeah, and I think they're probably going to talk about if they're talking about smart delivery. I think they may end up talking about the like what the game runs on the older system and what the game runs on the newer system. Because I think that would be an idea to go, these are the resolution differences, these are the frame rate differences, these are the
Yeah,
load time differences, these are such and such and such. And do comparisons would be so cool. Love that. And that would just be like, oh, but we may have to wait that for a different show. Who knows?
yeah,
It could be August because there's meant to be a show in August. But yeah, I think they're going to start off with Halo. I think
yeah,
if people love Halo. As much as everyone says the milk of the franchise, people come
yeah.
for Halo. So
And I'm not even a Halo fan. I don't really like the games, but I'm quite excited to get into
you're
this.
intrigued, right?
Yeah, you're very intrigued. This is the kind of game that might get me interested, but really into Halo because the others really didn't. I didn't mind Halo 5 to be honest. Everyone went hated it for whatever reason. I think it's more of a certain fan base hated it. I think
Well, I'm
I
gonna
think
get
Halo fans
shade
actually
thrown at
liked
me.
it.
I haven't played it yet.
Oh, yeah, I've still not played the new Gears game, so I'm not feeling Gears. But it says also keep an eye out for the new Master Chief emotes as well.
Well, that could be showing the multiplayer. So who knows? It could be in the
Yeah,
multiplayer. Um, I mean, there's rumors now of what that Halo multiplayer is going to be announced as free. Who
Yeah.
knows? I mean, Halo multiplayer, people are going to play it regardless of whether you have to pay for it or whether it's free. Halo multiplayer is something that they do well. No
Yeah.
denying that.
Oh, yeah, it's
I'm
not.
not
Yeah.
not big into PvP, but you never know. Might be a game to get me on side for PvP. Um, what do you reckon the next game is going to show?
So yeah, what else are they going to show? So Halo
Obsidian's meant
Infinite's
to be
for
there, right?
sure. Hellblade 2 is a given. I think I reckon they'll show a lot more of that. Possibly gameplay. Everwild as well. I think that's a given. Possibly gameplay. For the new Forza game, I think that is probably a given with definite gameplay. And Microsoft, you
Do
can
you
stop
reckon
me
they'll have
anywhere.
a
I'm
release
just
date?
going to go on here. That's the only thing. I reckon Forza could be a launch title, possibly.
It could be a launch title, but I
Yeah.
also think because it could launch maybe. I think this is what Phil said. He said we don't want all our games launching at the same time at the beginning. We
Yeah.
want to kind of space it out so that you guys have time to enjoy the game, and then
Yeah.
once majority of people have played that, we're then going to release the next game. So I think they might stagger it out, and give people a constant flow of games to play, so they don't get bored. They don't run to Twitter and trash another console system.
Yeah.
You're too
While
busy
while
playing
while
games. Who knows?
while Sony a while back announced that they can actually make less AAA games, next big AAA games, Microsoft said they're making more. So they're looking to chuck out a first party AAA title every quarter. So yeah, we might not get another one. We might get another one around December, January, and then sort of another one in April. So they might do
Yeah,
that.
I reckon. You mentioned Hellblade 2. I think they're going to show some Hellblade 2, and I think they're going to show Hellblade 2 running on the series. And I reckon that is going to be a drop the mic moment. Like
Yeah,
how I
alright.
think Halo is a cornerstone
Yeah,
and is going to be a
they're gonna look
big
fantastic.
show. It's going to be a big showpiece. I think Hellblade 2 is going to be a showpiece because that
Yes.
trailer, honestly, people still talk about it
Yeah.
and go, if that game looks that good,
And if the gameplay
what's
is anything close to that, yeah.
yeah, it's like already the best looking game ever.
Yeah,
Already, hands down.
yeah, it's
Beats
already
anything on
the best
PC.
looking game next gen. Yeah, it's already the best looking game
Yep.
next gen shown at all
And that's
across the board.
yeah.
Easy. Yeah.
hmm You might
And then
not be a
we've got,
Hellblade fan, but it looks so gorgeous.
and it's all about looks,
I
how
want
games
that
look.
game.
Yeah, we only care about how games look. Remember,
Yeah, that's true.
there's a certain fan base who don't care about gameplay and that. We just want games that look good. So at Everwild, do you think Everwild would make a show a bit more? Because you quite
I
like
think
the look of that, because you just said it looks a bit like Zelda.
it's the beautiful art style. I think the fact that I don't have enough of an idea of what that game is. It looks really pretty. It intrigued me. The world I
Yeah,
kind of want to run around and explore. But I'm like, now you've kind of shown me a little bit about it. Give me
yeah,
some actual content around what is this game about? What would I
yeah,
possibly be doing? Because I've got all these things in my imagination going on, but I want to you guys to steer my imagination, tell me what you actually plan for this title. I think Everwild will be there, and I would play it if it came to the
oh
Switch,
yeah,
which it's never going to. But I would love if it came to the Switch because I love like that art style and being portable and stuff. But it'll
yeah,
come to XCloud, so that's going to be key because
yeah,
XCloud is coming to Game Pass Ultimate. Um,
yeah,
yeah, so Everwild, so keen, and I think Rare, they got treated so badly at the beginning of when Sea of Thieves came out, and then
and it's a
Sea of
massive
Thieves was
success.
it's a huge. I love
No,
that
I
game,
know.
really
Yeah,
do,
so
and
do I.
I say I love it, but I don't play it enough.
We need to
And I need
record
to
it.
get
We
back
need
in.
to do a recording. Yeah, because I like trolling
Yeah,
on
we
it. I
need.
like going around in my boat killing people. I'll be honest.
I love just exploring the world and having fun. I have an irrational fear of sharks, so I don't actually like getting in.
Nice, nice.
And it's so irrational because it's a video game and the sharks can't get me.
Yeah.
They can
Well,
get my
they kind
brain
of
and they
can.
can't get
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Oh,
But but they got so much flack when the game released. and then it
Yeah.
turned into this huge, massive success. And this is a game that they were passionate about. Everwild's a game that they're passionate about. So I think people have realised um, that Rare is still somewhat the Rare that they remember, and maybe give them a fair shake this time.
Well, that's a good thing about Xbox. Xbox gives their developers freedom to make whatever they want, whether it's a passion project, whatever. Like, look at Bleeding Edge. Bleeding Edge was a passion project by two people out of the Ninja Theory, and they just let them go off and make it.
It's
Xbox, I think,
actually a really good
gives a
game.
lot of freedom. Yeah, it is a good game, and yeah, it gets hate. But two or three people made that out of the development team because they wanted to do it. And Phil was like, "Yeah, go on then, go for it." He did. I think it just gives them that freedom. That's
Obsidian
why
is
everyone's
coming.
making. So Obsidian. Oh, so you Obsidian,
Obsidian's
yeah.
going to be there. From what
Yeah.
the announcements have been, is Obsidian's going to be there. I wonder what game they're working
I've heard. Well, I've kind of heard. I
RPG.
see a list that a lot of, like, pretty much all of them there, including Compulsion Games, are going to show a new game.
Ooh, Obsidian could have on their pre-show the parent DLC that's meant to be Outer Worlds,
Oh, right, yeah.
because there's meant to be a parent DLC coming, and then Obsidian could actually
Are
also,
they the
at
ones?
the
They're the ones
main
making
event,
that. Yeah. Go on.
show
Sorry.
their new RPG they're working on. They're also the ones doing Grounded, but that's a small side title.
Yeah,
That's a
but this is
small
exactly
indie
what
title.
this is exactly the point. Yeah, Xbox lets developers just to branch off, make their main game, but also branch off making sort of little fun projects they like to
Passion
do. And
projects.
Xbox gives them that freedom, and I can't see
Well,
what's wrong with that freedom because
because the
everyone's always
best.
moaned that Xbox doesn't give their developers freedom, but how I can see is they're given more freedom. In fact, The Last of Us Two was a wash because the developers did not want to make that game, and that's why half of them left, and that's why because it was a mess.
What kind of
So
annoys me with, I guess, the gaming industry at the moment is games have to be AAA or they're no good, apparently.
yeah,
But Xbox has got the whole idea of Game Pass, right? And you've got AAA games on there going day and date. But what
yeah,
happens in between the AAA games? We feed you smaller games, smaller experiences, chances for you to um, like delve into a game which you never thought you would because
yeah.
it's not AAA, but you subscribe to this service and you're going to try games you didn't think for. And
Just
it's just it's allowing you to have more games because they're always talking about how Xbox has no games,
yeah,
more games, a steady flow in between the AAA titles that are going to be on
yeah.
Game Pass as well. Like it's a steady stream of
It's
games. It's
exactly how
brilliant.
Netflix works. You have your big budget TV series or movies, but in between that, they release their own little series, isn't it? And it turns out a lot of times their own series seem to be just as big as the AAA stuff. Their own little
Yep,
documentaries, especially documentaries. Some of their documentaries are massive compared to the big
I love
documentaries.
their documentaries.
Yeah,
But but for people to complain about these bigger studios having these little teams doing these tiny little passion projects, it's probably allowing them to also test things out that they could bring into
yeah,
their bigger games as well,
exactly.
like mechanics that they didn't know they always wanted to try, or game styles that they always wanted to try. There was no
Yeah,
proof of concept, and now they have that backing where they can actually go, let's try this out, see if it works, and if it does, we could eventually put it into this game instead because it's so successful. Who knows?
yeah. I mean, since when
Gives them
has
the opportunity.
make a passion project been bad for anyone? They're all
Since
ridiculous
it was
thing.
Xbox,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I mean, if passion projects are bad, then what do you call things like Bug Snacks or Sackboy or Astro Boy's Playground? What are they? Are they AAA titles? Are they, you know, did Sony push those games or are they passion projects? Come on.
who knows? But I mean, if we didn't have passion projects, we wouldn't have indie devs. Indie
Yeah,
devs are
exactly.
so passionate about gaming
Yeah, we
that
wouldn't have thin
they
games like
want to
Cuphead,
make
most certainly.
gaming.
Yeah,
Oh,
Cuphead
Cuphead,
was
yeah.
most certainly a passion project. We started off that. Yeah,
It was a passion project,
yeah,
and Xbox saw the potential and jumped in behind it. People
exactly.
forget that is how games are created. Like, gaming you almost died at one point, and then Nintendo came along and breathed new life into the gaming, and now look at where we are. It's the biggest industry for entertainment. It's bigger than music. It's bigger than TV. It's bigger than movies. It
Agreed.
could have been nothing, but because Nintendo did something with it, it paved the way for Sony to come in, and it paved the way for Xbox to come in, and today we are here where we are because of that.
Right. So
Competition is good, guys.
yeah. So what other predictions? What else you got?
What else do I have? Oh,
So there's possibly other possibly Mirror's Edge reboot.
oh, yeah, possibly.
They played the first
Rumors
games.
around Ninja Gated, possibly.
Ninja Gaiden,
Um,
yeah, which a lot of
yeah.
people think that is a PS4 game, and for some reason think of it because Xbox don't own it. There is no reason that it would be exclusive, which is a ridiculous thing because Xbox gets loads of exclusive games when they don't own a developing team. So does PS4 actually. PS gets exclusive games and they don't necessarily own the development team. So, but the first original Ninja Gaiden, you can Google this, you can look it up on Wiki, was actually on Xbox but not on PlayStation. The first one was on Xbox but not on PlayStation. So that was an original Xbox. So I mean, it doesn't take much for the Xbox to go here. Here's some cash. Can you make this? And then the developers go, yeah, sure. Thanks for the cash. We'll make it.
So,
That's
so,
pretty much how business works.
so going by the logic of what I see on Twitter all the time, is because it was on Xbox first, it wasn't
Yeah,
good until it came to PlayStation.
yeah,
That is
yeah,
logic on that is
yeah,
on Twitter, right, guys? Like,
yeah,
listen to that ridiculous logic. Um, it could come, it could be there. Who knows? There are so many rumors around what's going to be there. I think the only thing that I really want is Fable, but I think Forza Motorsports is going to be there, and I think they're going to reference the fact that there's 120 frames per second, and there was that rumored leak that came out saying that it wasn't going to be like Forza Motorsport 7 in the sense that they had what 900 and something cars. It was going to be more around quality over quantity because I
yeah,
think if they get that quality first because they've improved their engine to run on the next gen system, the next
yeah,
Forza Motorsports is going to be quantity because they've already got the quality level set, and
yeah,
that um, that engine is so heavily optimized. It's
yeah,
so good, so
yes.
good.
There's not much
Um,
left to do to it.
yeah, no, just put some ray tracing in and you're sussed. I think that that game is because what better way to show off a console than racing? PlayStation did it with
Yeah.
Gran Turismo,
Remember,
and it was
racing
the right
games
thing to do.
are easy to make and not very good until
Yeah,
Sony showcased it at their show, and then it's amazing.
well, what I really want after the show is I want to see those videos. Like there was that video of Gran Turismo showing all of Gran Turismo, and then what what Gran Turismo looks like coming to the PlayStation 5. But they showed
Yeah,
the same track the whole way through. They
yeah,
showed you the improvements from the first Gran Turismo all the way to what's coming here, and it gave you an idea of where graphics have been. But it showed you the Turismo 6, not Sport, because Sport have this like that. Um, but it just shows you how big an improvement the PS5 is, and that's what you're gonna see with the Xbox. People
yeah,
don't seem to understand that you're gonna see the same things you're seeing with the PlayStation, but with the Xbox, and it's going to be better. Might be harder to tell on a 1080p stream, but when the 4K equivalent comes out,
yeah,
probably going to notice it. Um, yeah, it's
yeah.
going to
When those
be
4K
racing on
games,
steroids.
yeah. So racing, Mirror's Edge, Gaiden. So Fable. So if it we're predicting a Fable, you're going to get really excited if I
I,
show Fable, aren't
I,
you?
I'm going to die, and
Yeah.
it's going to be
That's gonna be
4
awkward,
a.m. in the
especially as if
morning.
we're live.
Yeah, it's going to be 4 a.m. in the morning, and my sister's going to come out of her bedroom and tell me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Sorry for swearing. And then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna. You have to come here and watch. So I'll convince her to come into my room and watch the watch it, and then I will not go back to bed because I have to go to work and I have to get up at 6:30 to go to work. But I will not go back to bed. I'll just be like
Oh
dying of
really?
excitement. And then I'm gonna crash midday, At work, how I'm going to get through my day because I don't even know how I'm going to focus on work. Let's be honest. I'm going to be looking at all the trailers,
Yeah,
reading up on all the information, catch up on all other people's points of views because if you, I want to know other people's point of views. Like
yeah,
I'm going to catch up with you and ask. Well, we're going to
yeah.
discuss after
Well,
and
what
say
I think, yeah.
what your views were anyway.
So we're doing this show now, which is our predictions. Then we're going to do possibly, if we can, a live show, and then we're going to do our thoughts and after a thoughts show afterwards, aren't we?
Yes, we're gonna do that
Yeah.
as well. Yep, we're gonna do a thought show.
We're
We want to
busy
do
this
that on
week.
Sunday, right?
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
Saturday, my Sunday,
yeah,
because then it allows a couple of days to kind of
yeah.
um,
Sync.
allow me to sink in and allow me to stop freaking out over the Fable announcement because I've been
Yeah.
dying for a Fable announcement because there wasn't a Fable game this whole generation.
Let's just hope. Let's just see if they do it. They might not even do it because they've still not confirmed it. Still not confirmed it. So let's just see if
A
it's
little
even
bit of my
happening.
soul will die. I will sell
Yeah.
my soul to the devil, which is Xbox, if they do Fable.
But what's more exciting is if they're not working on that, then that means they're working on a different RPG, which will be an entirely new game, which no one's even heard of.
Well,
Because we know they're working on an
it's not.
RPG.
If they don't
So
give me Fable, give me something Fable-esque,
yeah,
Fable
I
adjacent.
I would personally like to have been rebooting Scalebound, redoing that because that was an RPG. But I don't think you're
I,
interested in Scalebound, are you? But that probably won't happen.
I, I, Scalebound. I was very interested in that.
Yeah, I
I
think that'd be
really
good.
was keen for that, and I was
Yeah,
kind of gutted that it got cancelled.
yeah, the co-op
But
looked
hey,
incredible. Yeah,
they could. You never know. I think if they're gonna do it, they're probably gonna do Scalebound mid-year. I
yeah.
reckon. I reckon that's more likely to happen.
They just need a better developer than Platinum that actually uses. I knew it's too big. Well, I don't know why they got Platinum. It was just far too big a game for them to handle. They're just not good enough. You need
No,
a
they were too busy.
proper big. You need too busy making games, bloody PS4 exclusives, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, bloody idiots.
Do you reckon Outer Ring's gonna appear? Because if you look at like Twitter and like any forums,
Yeah,
all the people who are wanting to see Elden Ring, I think we might see something from Elden Ring because we only got a trailer. We haven't
possibly.
heard
Yeah.
anything from Elden Ring since.
We've
Um,
also got Project Mara, is it?
from Ninja Theory.
Yeah, there's another game. They're working on
Um,
so many games at the moment.
I don't
um,
think I don't think they're gonna take away from Hellblade 2. I don't think Ninja Theory's
possibly
gonna
not.
do that. I think if they were to do Project Mara, it might be at a later date because Hellblade is it's such a fast stage and where it is development.
They basically worked on
Project
three
Mara,
games.
but
That dev team worked on three games at the
yeah,
same time. They're a beast. That's a wicked
they were
bunch. Is that dev team?
great acquisition.
Yeah, because they
Um,
worked on Bleeding Edge, Project Mara, and Hellblade 2 all at the same time.
how about low key mic drop next Batman game announced?
Yeah, can you imagine that? That would, I think, if they opened with that's what I would do. If I was them, I wouldn't save it to the best till last thing. I would open with WB Games purchase just to set the scene so people know where we're going with this, and just to keep people buzzing all the way through the entire show. I'll just go, welcome to the show, and we just purchased WB Games, and now Batman is exclusive. Thank you. Good night, Jeff. um, and
What's gonna happen is like,
it should have a camera specifically on Jeff in a corner. You just see him cringe and
well,
start crying.
what's gonna happen is like if that was it to ever happen to Jeff Kelly, it would be like the Game Awards last year, where
Yeah,
apparently when they were doing the rehearsals, Xbox had fake stuff showing up, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
when
to
the
catch
actual
him out.
event happened,
Yeah,
they announced the Series X, best of
yeah.
announcements ever for a game console. Let's be honest.
Because if he knew it was coming,
PlayStation did it all
he
for
would
a
have downplayed
generation.
it.
This gen.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, this one.
If
But that could happen where they totally were like, Jeff Kelly, we're doing this, and this, and then they chuck something else in, and he wasn't prepared for it.
yeah, because they knew he did fuck it up. That's why they wanted to keep him,
That'd be
catch him out, and
terrifying.
he was furious about it, wasn't he? It's funny.
Well, it was interesting, his reaction,
Yeah,
and then his reaction to the Godfall trailer.
yeah.
He was way more excited for the Godfall trailer than he
I
was
know.
for the fact that Xbox mic dropped the Series X, and then even
Yeah,
further, hit it out of the park by
Yeah,
announcing Hellblade 2 because that was like
yeah,
the internet went crazy.
yeah. That moment when you hype Godfall up over Xbox Series X and Hellblade 2, you know what side he's on.
Yeah, well, I mean, Godfall not for me. No offense,
Nah, it's
not
not.
my type of
I
game.
look, I've watched it again yesterday when I was doing my PS5 promotions trailer, and it does look really boring and bland. I'm sorry, it does look awful. No interest whatsoever in the game.
Yeah, I think Elden Ring could show up, and I think that's going to be quite interesting. But yeah, low key,
So
Fable.
Outer
That's
Ring. What
I love
else have we got?
RPGs.
There's that. What was it? Mercy or something? There's another game,
Mercy.
wasn't there? That's on the sidelines. What's it called? I can't even think of the name there. It's another
Do you
game
know
that
who
people
does
do.
it?
No, I'm not sure if they're
First
even
party
first
studio.
party. I'm not sure if they're first party. Well, I
What
suppose
was
it's only
NXL
for.
show? Isn't NXL showing something? Because they're doing
Oh yeah,
Wasteland
oh
2.
yeah. In Exile would probably be possibly be showing something. Yeah, there's them
They
showing
could be
something.
showing a teaser.
Yeah, yeah. They're going to be
I
showing
don't think
something.
we'll see anything from Compulsion Games, and if we do, it's only really going to be a small teaser trailer. I think they're going to wait to show something from Compulsion next year, because I think they really want to let that bake in the oven and get that proof of
Yeah,
concept going and
I think they want to.
get
Yeah,
them
because their
ready.
last game was a small indie title,
Yeah,
so I
and
think they
I
really
know,
want to.
and I know people were like, "Why would you buy Compulsion?" But when they cut together that
Yeah,
initial trailer for God, We Happy Few,
yeah,
if that game actually turned out to be anything like the trailer showed it was going to be,
yeah,
that's a winning formula. I think that they have a lot of potential, and the fact that they went back and put story into that game, and the game released and actually was not too bad, um, shows a lot about these developers that they
yeah,
listen to their gaming community, that they take on feedback really well, that they have that option, like to get feedback from Xbox when needed, feedback from the other devs within the first party studios. And I think they have a lot of potential to grow and become a great developer, and people aren't giving them a chance because, yes, the game that wasn't for them, or they didn't think it was a AAA material um, developed to
yeah.
purchase or to bring into the
It,
fold. But people are being short sighted. Every developer
yeah,
who has ever made a AAA game started from
yeah,
no
exactly.
nothing.
Everyone, even Naughty Dog, they didn't
Yep.
really, they didn't come out and release Uncharted first. They were making little
Naughty,
kiddie games. Yeah,
Naughty Dog was not The Last of Us when they first came out.
no,
You know, they
no.
didn't make The Last of Us games when they first
They've
came
been
out.
around for a long while. They've been around for a long while
Yep.
making indie games. Yeah, and also in addition,
They've
it's incredible they demand that all Xbox devs make AAA games where PS4 devs, first party devs, don't seem to have to do that. They can just make whatever they want. I mean, you can't call things like Sackboy and stuff like that first part AAA. I'm sorry, More Dreams or half their games or Concrete Genie. None of those games
I
are
think
AAA.
those games, and when we're consistently jumping to Xbox and PlayStation, but like those games are going to be their match to the smaller
Yeah, exactly.
Xbox titles that are being
Yeah,
released by Xbox.
because
They're
both
releasing
sides need them.
smaller games.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do.
you need small titles. Both
Need
sides have
filler.
them. You need them. Yeah, you need filler. Both sides have filler. It's ridiculous to think one side has filler, the other side doesn't, just has AAA. That's a really, really blinkered view. And you're not in the gaming community, or you just, I don't know, you're a very badly casual, very, very casual gamer if you think only one side has filler and the other side doesn't. But anyway, predictions. Any more predictions then? Purchases. What about studio purchases? We think possibly WE Games, but I think that might even be too early for that yet.
Actually, I
Um,
think Xbox is sneaky, and I think that's further ahead than they were planning on. So it could be.
yeah,
Who knows? I think my understanding from Aaron Greenberg's tweet the other day, or last week, whatever it was, where he talked about this was about the games. I think it's going to focus on. I think they don't want to take away from the
nah,
games.
nah,
I think
exactly.
if they were going to announce anything, it might be August or in between,
Yeah,
to say this is what's happening. I think they really just want to let the games talk for themselves, and I think they really just want to. to go, this is our promise love letter type thing to our Xbox fans, the ones who have stuck with us through thick and thin, through the times where it was not fashionable to be an Xbox gamer. Basically, you had to cower and hide from anyone who and not
Yeah.
tell anyone you were an Xbox gamer, which is really, really sad because I'm passionate about games. And I think this is our promise to you. This is what next gen is. We are here for you. We're here to bring the games, and we've got the system to do that with. And that's my impression of the actual mentality Xbox is going into next gen with. And it's positive. I'm positive for the first time in a very long time about the direction
Really
Xbox
hyped
is
for it.
moving in.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
if they're gonna, I think yeah, if they are gonna do WP Games thing, it would be best to hold that off for August for if Sony does do another show. If Sony does another show, then they can simply go, oh well, okay, well we got WP Games, so whatever, and then that will probably massively steal the limelight back from Sony show. All that, just showing they've just bought WP Games would knock anything that Sony shows in August.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. I've got like no other predictions I really want to talk about.
No,
But I think we're
shoot,
gonna do another. We're gonna do
we'll
another
round it up then,
podcast
shall we?
closer to the. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do another podcast later on. Like we said, we're gonna do one on Sunday, but or
We
Saturday for
try
you.
to do live.
Um,
Otherwise, we
yep.
just we
We're gonna
try
try
to
to
do a
live
show
tomorrow.
live. Yeah, we try to do it
Um,
live tomorrow.
yeah.
If you're
Fingers
up for it,
crossed.
we've got to figure out how to do it. And if you're up for
I
it,
will be awake.
yeah,
And then but we are probably going to do it closer to the time because both Xbox and PlayStation have said that there are events going to be in August. So maybe we're going to talk a bit more about what we think those events will be at a later date.
yeah. After you've
If
seen
they
these
will
events,
include at a later date.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So let's round out then. Thank you for being here again, for joining me for another waffle about all
My
things
pleasure.
gaming. We've sort of meant to talk about Xbox. We've sort of both bounced around a bit there. Um, I think rightly so though, because I think things need to be said, and these, because I don't think Sony is doing a good enough job. But yet we've yet to see Xbox's show in either, so we probably shouldn't talk. Yeah, it could be poo. They could show bug sex prequel or something.
Yeah.
Xbox show, imagine
Xbox.
it.
Xbox could have easily overhyped certain features. We don't know for certain what we're walking
No,
into.
no. Right, so in fact, I'm going to just put one of your links down below if I can. So that will link to your channel, and I'll put in one of our last things. Thank
Yep.
you all for watching. Thank you, Pan, for being here. You want to wave?
Ah,
There we go. Is that you
thanks,
waving?
guys. Thanks, guys. Coming to you all the way from little old New Zealand, and in the future, apparently, because you know it's Wednesday night,
Yeah.
Thursday, shortly.
Right. Okay. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye for now.
Bye.